Do
everyone.
it.
This is the CHRILLCAST. I'm Chris,
And I'm Royal.
and we're in a small town of Inaba to tell you guys all about 2012. Although Will might be in a certain kingdom that he's going to tell you about in a
Yes.
second. But for 2012, please comment below what your favorite game from the year 2012 was. Tell us why we're right,
Let
why
us
we're
know.
wrong, and we're going to get into it. Will, tell us what your favorite game for
And I
2012
will not
was.
be picking a Halo game this time. So that's pretty surprising. Yeah.
What?
So I'm picking Kingdoms of Amalur, which I think recently is getting more traction, but when it came out, I sold a million copies, but it almost bankrupted an entire state. It was like funded by a famous Boston pitcher. There's a lot going on, but basically it's a really wonderful RPG. It has one of the greatest like fantasy storytellers of all time, R.A. Salvatore, attached to it. And what is the guy's name? McFarlane. I know this is his last name, but
Seth
was it?
MacFarlane?
Is that the guy who does toys? It's the guy who does like the Spawn comics, and he makes like the toy line. Anyway, so he's the one who does the art style for this.
Okay.
So it's just an interesting mix of people, and it's a really cool. I mean, if you like Fable, you'll like this game. So it's the like fighting mechanics are pretty simple. You basically just hack and slash your way through, but it has a really cool weapons. It has these chakras that you can like throw out at people. It has like mystical
Todd
lances and
McFarlane.
Todd McFarlane. There you go. And you have like mystical spears and these like harpoons that you can like drag enemies to you. There's also the Reckoning mode, so that's like part of its like subtitle, which basically the concept of the game is that everyone has a determined fate, but because you are like resurrected in the very beginning of the game, you actually have no fate. So you can actually go through and destroy like other characters' fate, and you do this through your Reckoning mode, where like it's like everything slows down and the enemies are like moving in slow motion, and you just basically go around the entire room and just wreck everything. And then like say like you have like one main boss and a bunch of mini bosses. The main boss you can like go through like a quick time event where you're like jamming like X or something, and then you have like this awesome finishing move where like you create the shaft of light. You pick up the monster and you like stab it on the shaft of light, and you ended its fate. So you wrecked the fate of that animal or whatever. It's really cool. Every single character looks exactly the same. There's no difference in faces. So you have like three female faces and three male faces, and that's it. But if you can get over that, the environments are really cool. The map is actually kind of dauntingly large, so it's surprisingly huge. And every time you think you get to the end of it, you end up like unlocking a whole nother section of the map. So that's really cool. Like with all of the new DLC to it as well, it's a huge game. You can easily put in 200 hours if you really wanted to complete it. But it's a lot of fun. Yeah, definitely recommend it.
How many hours does Will have in?
I honestly only have like 60 hours into it, so I have a lot to do.
All right. Well, here's a game that I have about 150 hours into. Persona 4 Golden. This was my introduction. I'm coming clean here, guys. This is my introduction to the Persona series. I came in with my Vita. I bought a Vita thinking this is a great system, and then Sony dropped support for it, and I was like, okay, what game should I be buying for the Vita? And on Reddit, every user said Persona 4 Golden. So I was like, okay, fine. And then my buddy even said Persona 4 on the PS2 is one of the best games ever. So I was like, okay, fine. With all of these in mind, I will trust my friend Michael, who's not my brother, who's also named Michael. Um, and I bought this game. And I put it in my Vita, and I was like, 2 seconds in, there's like this weird ad with like a I don't know how to explain it. It was an ad that goes like, "Whoa, what is this game? What am I getting myself into? This ain't Catherine, okay?" So I was like, So I got into it, and I was like, okay. I put the game down for about 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. I played some other Vita games, and eventually I was like, okay, I gotta play this Persona game. I don't know what this is all about. And then I see the art style, and I'm playing through it, and I'm like, okay. And then I'm playing it, and then I realized like a couple days later I'm literally only playing Persona 4 Golden, and then I realized I'm playing Persona 4 Golden past when I would normally go to bed, and I was literally playing this game up at night, playing, and beat the game, and like, you ever get that sense of dread when you finish a game? You're like, what am I gonna play next? This is like one of the first games in a long time that I felt that. You know, I was like, uh-oh, what am I going to play now? I've just spent so many hours playing this game.
You feel kind of empty.
Yeah. That's how I feel about Persona 5 Royal right now. I just plopped like 250, 300 hours into that game. And now I'm like, what am I going to play now?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm back into The Witcher. But this game is probably top 10 games of all time for me. And it's the reason I got into the Persona series. And now I now own every single Persona game ever made. All of the spin-offs, all of the main line, everything. And this is why Persona 4 Golden, it was that good. So if you have a Vita, or if you have a Steam account now, you can get it for $20 on Steam. This is worth your time. It's worth every penny. Even with the weird de novo thing on Steam, it's still worth your time to play it. It's about an 80-hour for one playthrough. I've played through it like 3 times. That should tell you something. I've managed to play through a JRPG with no branching storyline that changes 3 times. It's that good. So I can't say enough good things about this game. So if you haven't played it, Persona 4 Golden, worth your time. Very fun. Dungeon crawling and social sim together, all as one, with a lot of interesting choices. So if you like a different game, comment below 2012, or keep that in mind. What's your favorite game? As always, I'm Chris.
And I'm Will.
And I talked a lot, so Will's going to sign it off.
And we will see you in 2013.